Hello and welcome to the Business Profit Club show with me, Nigel T. Best.
Me, Si.
And this is the show that's all about helping entrepreneurs start new or grow existing businesses by sharing the techniques and tactics to take advantage of technology.
Each week, we'll have actionable content that will make a difference to you and your business.
And today is no different because we've got 7 crucial, can't even say it, it's so exciting, 7 crucial questions you must ask yourself before you start a business. Are you ready?
Okay, cue the music.
Right, we're back. Si, good to have you here. How are you?
All good, are you?
Yeah, I'm tickety-boo, thanks, mate. I could run a mile, leap a style, and eat a country pancake and all that. You know, and in this day and age, that's pretty impressive, isn't it? But today, we have got 7 crucial questions that you've got to ask yourself, haven't you?
We do. Before you start a business.
Before you start a business, and you're already moving your head away from the microphone. No matter how many times I tell you. Do you know how long it took me to edit last time?
No.
I had to cut the audio and then boost your volume.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, I like to keep you busy. It's all right.
Yeah, all right, enough of that. So another crucial question, we'll tag on to the end of that. Do you work with Muppets? Oh, welcome to the show. Right, let's jump straight in before we lose it already. And we're only, about 35, well, a minute of actual usable stuff, but about 35 minutes into it. So question number 1 is money. Money's a biggie, isn't it? Now, a lot of people, in the old days, right, here we are. I'm going to go back in time. Because...
Easy for you.
Thank you. In the old days, if you wanted to start a business and you said, right, I want to manufacture something, I want to sell something, yeah, you're breathing heavy again. Have you been working out? Have you been doing weights?
I've walked.
But in the old days, if you wanted to manufacture something, if you wanted to do something, you were talking about millions. You know, building a factory, R&D, everything. What can you do these days with the amount of money? You know, do you need that much these days to do manufacturing? Because what could you do? You know, if you wanted to sell, say, headphones.
Yeah.
Are you going to create a factory to make headphones?
No.
What are you going to do?
You're going to become an affiliate.
Yeah, you're going to buy someone else's stuff, drop ship it, affiliate yourself to somebody else's products. So one of the big things about money and thinking I need a lot to get set up, okay, that's an extreme example, a big factory. But a lot of people think when you start a business, how much money do you need to get going? How much do you reckon it is? What would you say in total? How much? What sort of figure? What sort of figure do you think our listeners, our viewers out there are going to be thinking?
I think they're going to be thinking big.
How big? 10 grand? Don't put your arms out. As the one-armed fisherman said.
Yeah, call one that big.
He said, no, he said, oh, it got away. He said, how big was it? He said, it was that big.
Yeah.
Anyway, you might be thinking, what are these two clowns on about? But no, one of the biggest questions is, do I have enough money to get this business started? Now, let's knock it right back down to setting up a limited company. You can do that for about £15 here in the UK.
How do you know that?
Because we've done one.
Oh.
I mean, obviously, I told you it was a couple of grand, but... But no, it's about £15. It is peanuts to actually form a limited company. But then people are thinking, okay, how much else do I need? What do I need? Do I need to buy stock? You know, how do I do things? I need websites. I need all these things. You know, I need accountants. I need advisors. I need bank accounts. I need, so much I've got to do. I need to employ people. And before you know it, they've run away with themselves and they're into a lot of money. And what we want to do today is just say, right, hang on. Before you think, right, I'm starting a business. So the first thing I'm going to do is some I'm going to get a nice office desk. I'm going to get all the gear, no idea type thing. Set myself up. I'm going to spend thousands getting going. I think we want to just say, hold on a second.
Yeah. Hold your horses.
Hold your horses. You don't need to spend that much. And one of the things that we're going to be talking about over the coming weeks is how you can use software, the phone in your hand that you've already got, and I'm sure everyone has one. What you've got right now is enough to get you going. And indeed, a lot of the software and a lot of the things that we're going to be sharing, you can get for nothing. So it's totally free. All it's going to take is a bit of time, which, funnily enough, is the very next thing that you've got to ask yourself. But you do not have to spend a lot of money. In fact, I would say do not spend a lot of money. If you want to, Amazon selling is very popular.
Yeah.
And people are thinking, I want to sell headphones. Keep the theme going. I'm going to buy 10,000 sets of headphones and stick them in an Amazon warehouse, and then I'm going to see if I can sell them. Okay, that's a lot of money up front.
That's a lot of money up front.
Yeah, don't do it. What you could maybe do is maybe you could drop ship that. So you could find out people interested in headphones and then find out a supplier. And then what you do is you put the person that wants some headphones in touch with the supplier via your store, and you can set that up for peanuts as well.
Yeah.
You never see the headphones. You never hold the stock. In fact, you don't even buy it from the supplier and then sell it on. The transaction is done kind of direct between consumer and supplier, and you're just in between, and you just take a fee for having done that. So you don't need to hold stock. So if you've been thinking, what has been holding me back from starting a business? It's money and I don't have any. That, my friends, should be the end of that. You do not need money. Yeah, you don't need money to get going, do you?
No. You could start from your mobile phone, set up a free social media account.
Yeah.
Put some posts on there to do with headphones.
Yeah, because
some hashtags about headphones.
Absolutely, because how much is Facebook?
That'll be diddly squat.
Or LinkedIn?
Diddly squat.
Or Instagram?
Nada.
Or YouTube?
Zilch.
Or setting up a website?
Zero.
Oh, yeah, and we're going to talk you through. If you're undecided,
I'm pleased you didn't have any more because I'd have run out then.
What? Nichts. Yeah. Okay. Nada. All the rest of it. But what we're saying there is money should not be a block, an obstacle. Forget that one. If you've been thinking, I can't start a business because I don't have any money, we've just absolutely killed that one, and you can. So number 2, then, we mentioned it, time.
Yeah.
Okay. What have people got quite a bit of at the moment during lockdown?
Time.
Yeah. If you were just fiddling there with your phone or your radio, your stereo, or whatever you're listening to, whatever you're listening to us on, and thinking, what's gone wrong there? No, he was doing dramatic effect. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel, what you need to do is, as the thing goes along the bottom, you need to ding that dong, subscribe, share, comment. That'd be great. And then you'll get all our episodes when they come out, and they come out all the time. You're looking at me as if I've just lost it. No, time. What are we saying? Okay, here's the thing. The question you have to ask yourself is, how much time do I have? Because it's the age-old thing. If you say yes to something, generally you've got to think to yourself, what have I got to say no to in order to say yes to this? So if you've got a very busy life, then you've got to be realistic. And if you look at a job opportunity, or for a lot of people out there at the moment, they'll be thinking, I need to create some income, I need to get out there and do something. And they're thinking, but I've got a busy life, I've got all sorts of things going on. Realistically, if someone comes along and said, invest with us, maybe some redundancy money or some savings, be careful, because they might say you only need to spend 30 hours a week on this or whatever. Do you actually have 30 hours free? What happens if your business picks up again where you're employed and you have to go back there? Can you still sustain 30 hours a week? So set yourself out with something that only takes the amount of time that you've got spare at this point. Okay. And if people say they haven't got any time,
just think about how much time you spend in front of the income reducer, otherwise known as the television.
God, anyone else's ears just get perforated there. It is great exercise to do. Write down as you go through the day, divvy it up into 15-minute sections, and at the end of each hour, just set your phone to beep and just say, right, what was I doing in the last hour? And the amount of time we spend just consuming social media, the amount of time on TV, the amount of time just messing about. Okay, if you're saying yes to wasting your time with TV and consuming social media, then you are saying no to the time you need to run a business. And which is going to earn you money?
I'd go for the second one.
Yeah, exactly. So you do have time. Maybe you're just not allocating it, using it the right way at the moment. So do that exercise and find out how much time you've got. Okay.
You could also get up an hour earlier.
Yeah. So what? About 10ish?
No, well, if you were to get up an hour earlier, you could set yourself that you had that little bit of time that you'd set to get up to do what you needed to do. If you're working around a busy job, I mean,
because we get up fairly early for what we're doing, don't we? About 10:30, 11ish. If only those pesky kids would get themselves to school. But anyway, that's a great thing. Sometimes, we've got to think about where we spend our time. That's all we want to say on that. Let's move on. Number 3, I call it all the crap. Now, you're probably thinking, what do you mean by all the crap? If you are running a business, you are going to have to realize that when you start up, if you're on your own, you're going to have to deal with it all. Customer complaints, customer delivery, questions, maybe your website, setting things up, especially if you're thinking that, you've got no money, not a lot of time. You've got to realize that you've got to deal with all the crap that comes with it. So you're going to have to, learn an awful lot pretty quickly. And not all of it will interest you. And what you will find is, and I've got a recommendation here, there's a great book. Have you read it? E-Myth Revisited, I think it is.
No.
So the E-Myth is by a guy called Michael Gerber. And what he was saying was, when you start up, you do every job. But then what you've got to do is you get more and more successful is you've got to move out of the jobs that you could get someone else to do at £10, £20 an hour. And you concentrate on the ones that are more important, that can earn you more money. Or you get someone in. The first person to employ is a person that does the bit of the business that you hate the most. Because at the beginning, you got to deal with all the crap. And if you took on an employee, you're doing all right. Are you going to carry on doing the bits you hate? Or are you going to employ someone to do those bits for you? Now, the weird thing about this, the psychology of this is because you hate something, you think everyone must hate it. But that's not the case, is it?
Like some people make a job and a living out of things that other people hate. They actually enjoy it.
Yeah. Hey, you only need to look at accountants, solicitors, whatever it might be. It's generally stuff that people go, oh, that makes my brain hurt. I really can't be bothered with that. But they are valuable things, and that's what you would outsource. So in the meantime, though, when you're starting up a business, you've got to realize you've got to deal with it all. And if you don't do it, if you're the only one in your business, if you don't do it, then nobody's going to do it.
Nope.
So you've got to realize, okay, can I cope with dealing with all the crap? It's a good question to ask yourself.
It is indeed.
All right, moving on. Number 4. That's a sharp intake of breath.
Job.
A job. And what I mean by that is if you are in a job at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay, so the world is in flux at the moment. There's great pressures on business, the economies, everything at the moment. And there'll be a lot of people in jobs who are thinking, well, they've kind of had lockdown. Maybe they've been on furlough and they've probably been looking at it and thinking, actually, is this what I want to do for another 20 years, 30 years, 40 years of my life? Or do I fancy a change? Okay, a few things that you need to ask yourself. what are my commitments, and is this job giving me a stable income at the moment? Now, for many of you, you might be thinking it's getting wobbly. But let's just assume that your job at the moment is stable income. It's paying the mortgage, it's paying the bills, it's putting food on the table, it's doing all of those things. If you suddenly decide to start your own business and you are going to go into it big time, full time, and you're going to jack your job in, you've got to think to yourself, okay, I've got something fairly stable, and I'm going to risk it all against something that, who knows? It could be a roaring success.
Unknown.
Yeah, the unknown could be a roaring success. It could be a disaster. We just don't know at the moment. And one of the things that you've got to think to yourself is, if you've got a house and you're looking at doing a mortgage, or you're refinancing your house, or you're doing something along those lines, okay, banks understand employment and you having a job. Banks understand you getting a salary or a wage or a regular income, and they can then, that kind of ticks the box for them, and they can then lend you money based on that. When you start a business, if you have no track record for your business and you go to the bank and you ask for money and they say, okay, what job do you have? And you go, oh, well, I've got my own business. Oh, okay. Can I have 3 years accounts, and how much do you pay yourself out of the business? If you just started, you've got none of that info. And I can tell you right now that the vast majority of banks are going to go, nah, not for us. So if you're thinking of starting a business, just check where you are with your mortgage and your house at the moment. And don't do anything rash with your job until you know your business is working. And we're going to come on to some of those later on in these questions.
Jim Rohn,
yeah,
a very good marketer, was working full-time and then doing a part-time job. He didn't quit his full-time job till he was earning double what he was earning in his full-time job.
Great advice. Great advice is that. If that's your benchmark, that's brilliant.
But I mean, even if you're earning double and it's consistent and it's flowing, then you've got the stability. It's like if you're going across a stream and there's 2 steps next to each other to get you across that stream, but one of them's like all over the place.
Wobbly as.
Yeah, wobbly as hell. And that if you stand on it, you're probably going to end up in stream.
Yeah.
Then, you want one that's nice and steady so you can go from one to the other to get you to the other side.
Absolutely. These are wise words, mate.
Because the stone that you stood on is nice and solid at the moment.
Absolutely.
It might not be as big as you want.
Yeah.
You might not be as comfortable as you want.
But sometimes that's good to not be comfortable. It makes you do something.
Yeah. All the exciting things happen outside the comfort zone.
Yeah, and that is why I call it the excitement zone. So don't step out your comfort zone. Always talk about stepping into your excitement zone. Excitement. So job, just be careful. Work out where you are. Don't do anything rash. Make sure your finances are in order, because that'll give you more stability and ability to give your business a good go. All right. Number 5.
Psychological and psychometric.
Yeah. Now, have you done psychometric tests? You will have done.
Yeah, I've done a few.
I mean, I could do one on you. Mad as a box of frogs, really. And I think I'm pretty much the same. But I put this one in because I think you've got to be careful here. If you are, let's face it, if you're going to go into a business and that business involves you standing up in front of people, whether it's on video, whether it's live, whether it's going out and getting sales, or whether it's highly detailed, technical, lots of I's to dot, T's to cross, just have a think. Am I suited to that job? And I'll go back to that book, The E-Myth. One of the things he says is most people start a business because they are fed up of working for an idiot. But they start their own business and very soon they realize they're working for a lunatic, which is themselves.
Yeah.
And the thing that you've got to do is play to your strengths. If you're looking at any type of business, the easiest thing you're going to find is if it's something that you are, reasonably good at. So if you're going to do something that involves selling, if you're comfortable with meeting people, selling, talking, and doing all of those things, it's going to make life easier. If you're not, then you're going to have to learn quickly, or you're not going to sell anything and you're not going to earn any money at all. And one of the ways that you can do it is things called psychometric tests or psychological tests, and they will analyze what your strengths and weaknesses are. Now, never, ever get yourself a label and then live up to it or live down to it. So just take it with a pinch of salt and say, okay, these are the things that I'm really good at. So I'm going to get better at those. These are the things that I could probably do with doing a little bit more of. And I'm going to work on those. Because your business needs, people that are good at all of these things. But what you will find is there are some things you're good at and some things you're not good at. Try and pick a job or something, a business, where it is going to give you the best chance of success early doors is because you're good at it at the moment. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I do. I think, but I think nowadays people, when they see these sort of tests, like you said, they sort of fixate themselves on this. Well, this is what I am. Well, I'm not that good.
6.
I'm not that good. Well,
I'm green.
Yeah, I'm amazing. I can do this. Well, I think it's just a guideline we think we need really to stress. Yeah. Don't live by it, die by it. Just a little guideline.
But it might explain why. If you're, somebody who, and you've got a gregarious, those outgoing, gobby people, a bit like Si, not like me, the shy, retiring sort of type. But if you've got to get yourself out, and your business is, in this day and age, all about Zoom calls, getting out there, recording videos, doing stuff like that, and the one thing that is going to make you wake up 4 a.m, sweats, cold sweats, and all the rest of it is going on video, then you're kind of thinking, well, okay, I just need to get over it. Or you probably look at your psychometric test and it says it's unlikely that this person's going to enjoy doing this. And you go, oh, okay, so I'm not losing it. It's just how I am. Okay, and then you can get yourself on a course to say, build your confidence. Go through some basics. Get yourself out there. Now, are you going to be the Tony Robbins or whoever it might be of video content and delivery and stage presence? Maybe not, but at least you'll know what you've got to work on. And at least you won't think, why am I so rubbish? Because not everyone's good at everything.
I do think the next point, though, is definitely...
Well, let's move on to it, because I can see your eyes flitting to it, because it is so overlooked.
Yeah.
So what's number 6, Si?
Market research, finding your ideal customer, your avatar. I think that's the big key. If you're looking to go into a market, a niche for your business, you need to make sure that there's a need for it.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you're pushing a snowball uphill.
In summer.
And
there's going to be nothing left when you get halfway up. Absolutely. If you think of the definition of business, or a definition of business is solving someone's problem for a profit, then your market research is finding out, I've got a solution. Does anyone actually have this problem?
Yeah.
And often what people will think is, I've done it. I've thought this course, I'm going to show the people how to do this. And I've spent a lot of time on it, gone out. And then people say, no, I didn't really think that was a problem. And funnily enough, if people don't have a problem, they don't want to buy a solution.
Correct.
So your market research, what ways can you think of anything that you like to do and to do a bit of market research?
I think the main thing is when you could go out, see what's available in the shops, but we'll forget that one for now because you can't do that. So, but the way to look at shops nowadays is definitely to go online, see what's getting reviews, That's a good way to see what people are wanting, why they're wanting it. If you read a review, you'll usually get 5 or 6 points of the problem that they had in the first place.
Boom.
And that's one review. So then you get 20, 30 reviews of a product that a similar product to what you're looking to sell. And you just need to make sure that yours is equal with a different USP. I think, to be fair.
Yeah. And one of the things that is so useful is, ladies and gentlemen, in your phone, in your handbag, pocket, wherever you keep it, you are carrying around with you access to the entire world and the entire world's history, as near as damn it. And all you need to do is type in a few searches into Google or YouTube, and you will find out what problems people have. I mean, you can even go onto Twitter and put in a word search. So if you wanted to put in something like lose weight, you will find thousands of people who are talking about, oh, why can't I lose weight? Why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? If only I could eat 3 cakes and still lose weight. All these sort of things. And you go, right, this is obviously a problem. YouTube, what's the most common first 2 words typed into YouTube?
How to. So people are going there wanting to find a solution. And this is what you need to do, folks. You need to go out. If you can't go out and ask people, maybe you just start doing some of these things. And even Google, when you're typing in a search, and it almost finishes the sentence for you. Google suggest.
Yeah. So if you're putting something in, so if you said, I want to, it's suggesting all sorts of things. And there's loads of software, loads of tools out there that are saying how many people are searching for certain words, phrases, or search terms a week, a month, a year. And, a while ago, how many people were searching for fidget spinners or whatever they were?
Yeah. There was a...
Compared to where they are, how many are searching now?
That'll be 0.
Yeah. So you can find and see little trends and waves. And if you can spot one of these as it starts to grow, so if you first hear about something, so go back a few years, fidget spinner, what's that? And then you put into Google, have a look at how many people are searching it. You go, holy moly, this is going to be big. Get into it then. And
go to Alibaba.
Yeah, and you can do
drop ship it.
Yeah, and don't do it at the moment. And if you're wondering what Alibaba and drop shipping is, we will go through that on another episode. But number 6, that's market research. And please try and do it slightly bigger than the other people in your house.
Yeah.
Or your mum or your best friend, because they don't tend to give you honest feedback because they love you and they don't want to hurt your feelings. And they will always sort of go, oh, yeah, that sounds really good. Try and get out there and do it bigger. Go on social media, make a post and say, hey, look, I've noticed that a lot of people are talking about this. Does that make sense? Are people thinking that?
Also, as well, there's a website called Quora.
Oh, tell me more. Quora. Is that Quora?
That is indeed, yes. And basically, you go on there if you want to know something. And there's people on there that usually have experience or knowledge in that, and they can answer it for you. But just imagine you go on there and there's something that they don't have the answer for. Ay carumba, you have the answer to a problem.
So people are searching for it, but no one's got the solution. Da-da-da-da. Here you come, riding over the horizon to save the day.
Poor horse, if I were riding a horse. I tell you.
Need to be quite a sturdy beast for yourself.
Yes.
Hey, what do you call them? A Clydesdale or a Shire horse or something.
Yeah, and I think it'd be more of a Shire horse, one of them that pull barges.
That's it, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, or a herd of pit ponies or something like that, dragging you along. Anyway, that's number 6, market research. So now number 7. I'm going to put this one in because, sharp intake of breath, because I don't think many people really, truly ask this question of themselves. And what I want to say on here is you must ask, if you have a family, you've got to have a discussion with them about what you think starting a business is going to entail. And when we talked about number 3, all the crap, when the proverbial hits the fan, when it's your own business and you're the only one there, you cannot ignore it. And sometimes you can be on holiday, it can be weekends, it can be the middle of the night, it can be all times of the day or night. If it is needed, then you are needed. And there's nothing worse than if you haven't explained that or had a conversation with your family and said, look, I'm going to give this a go. I'm going to give it a go for 2 years. If I can't make it work, I'm going to forget it and go back to something else. But during those 2 years, I could be required at any time, day, night. If we go on holiday, I'm taking my laptop. I'm going to have my phone with me all the time. Please, when it happens, don't have a go at me. Encourage me. Tell me to keep going, because the one thing I don't want to do is feel that my business is struggling or I've got problems, and then I turn around and my family's looking at me and giving me, daggers and making me feel even worse. What I want is support. Are you happy for me to do that? Because I won't even start. If you're not happy for me to do it, I won't even start. But if you're happy for me to have a go, this is what it entails. And it could be that you don't see me for 5 days straight because I'm going to work 100 hours straight and I'm just going to come home and go to sleep. Are you happy with that? And you've got to be happy with that, because you're going to have to think to yourself, can I put up with missing out on all those moments if you've got kids? Am I going to, miss out on all the wonderful moments, the memories of when the kids are young, when they're growing up, all the things that they do? If ever we get back to it, sports days, nativities, school plays, school assemblies, little talks, all these sort of things, all these activities. Are you happy to sacrifice that potentially for your business? Is your family happy for that as well? Have that discussion, talk about it, say, look, things could be terrible. Give them the worst case scenario.
I think as well as giving the doom, I think we need to give a bit of positivity. And I think what we can say is that the short-term pain can be a hell of a lot of a long-term gain. So basically, for you putting in 2-3 years of hard graft, putting in those sacrifices means that later in your life, you can then do all these things, not miss all these things. And then where other people are working, you've got it all set up so that you don't need to worry about that. But in those first 3-4 years, it could be really hard and you might have to work really hard. But what I don't want people to think when they're listening to this is, well, I was really looking forward to starting a business, but Nigel's come with his big scythe and looked to chop my head off and basically, cut away all my dreams, forget my family supporting me. The guy I'm listening to on podcasts telling me I'm going to fail and it's going to be too hard work. So what I'm thinking that we need to just bring it back to a bit of reality, a bit more of an equilibrium, give it the pluses. I'll give it the pluses. You give it the negatives and give it the pluses.
I'm going to come back in. You're absolutely right. But I'm going to give you some real sort of experiences from me. So involved in business, and the ability to manage your own time is just fantastic. So myself and Sally, we have managed to go to most of, if not all, of the kids' things. And when we turn up, I don't know, 1,000 kids in the school. And when we turn up, it's probably the same couple of dozen parents who are in a similar position where you're able to dictate, I want to take a bit of time off here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to come. I'm going to experience this. And that has been absolutely fantastic. However, about 10 years ago, we had, tough times, really tough times. And my youngest, Jamie, is 11, just turned 11. And I can honestly say I can't remember much, if anything, about him being until, I don't know, the age of about 3. And I was working probably 100-hour weeks. And we worked Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. And it was kind of like full on all the way through. So This is what I mean. If you can take the crap, you can get the gold as well. So it's a bit like a roller coaster. It's up and down. It sure is. But I always think in some ways you scream most when you go down. And sometimes the climb to the top can be a bit slow. And the enjoyment is when you're going down. But no. So there you go. I think these are 7 crucial questions. If you haven't asked yourself these, or your friends, family, or whatever, please take a bit of time to do it. We would still say absolutely go for it. But what you want to make sure is you've got just a few things sorted. You're going in with your eyes wide open. You're going in explaining to those your loved ones around and about you that this is going to take your focus. But you can also do it alongside of things. You don't have to spend money. So let's just recap the 7 crucial questions. Number 1 was
money.
Number 2,
time.
Number 3,
all the crap.
Number 4,
the job.
Number 5,
psychological or psychometric testing.
Number 6,
the market research.
And number 7,
the family support.
Oh, let's give that a... There we go. I don't know what that noise was, but we'll find out later. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your attention today, joining us, whether it's on YouTube. So don't forget to do the ding, 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 subscribe, notifications, share, comment, and all the rest of it. On the podcast, we'd love you to write a comment. And if you want to contact us,
hello@businessprofitclub.co.uk.
Or you can DM us on Instagram.
At Business Profit Club.
There you go. We would love to hear from you. If you've got anything you want us to talk about, if you'd love to come on the show, we would love to grill you over your business and what's going on, what you're up to, and the amazing things that you can share with the other viewers and listeners of the Business Profit Club show.
Podland.
We'll put it onto Podland and YouTube Vidland as well. Podland and Vidland. There we go. So that was today. Those 7 crucial questions. Make sure you ask them. And don't forget, listen after the music just in case Si comes up with an amazing last-minute thing. But other than that, this is me, Nigel T. Best.
Me, Si Hearn.
Saying, we'll see you later.
See you later.
Anything to say?
Are you tired after that? That was a bit of exercise, wasn't it?
It was, wasn't it? Hey, I was giving it my all there on the air drums. That was good. Are you done?
I'm done.
Bye then.